Okay, this is a quick demonstration video where I'm going to show how students and teachers would interact with Microsoft OneNote in an environment that would allow live interactive collaboration. So here I've created this little homework assignment for a student, and they're given the function f of x equals 5x plus 3. They're asked to find f of 3. Okay, so this is what the student was sent. So what I want to show you is what it would look like for the student to actually receive this homework assignment and work on it, while also showing you what I would see as a teacher as they were working on their assignment. So let me resize my window a little bit here so you can see the student's view. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm overlaying a student's phone, right, or this would substitute for like a Microsoft Surface Pro tablet or a computer or whatever it was that they were interacting with the Microsoft OneNote on. So I'm using an iPhone here, but this, you could just imagine this scaled up on an iPad, and I'll click on, I'm the student now in this video down here where my hand is. I'm going to click on the OneNote app, okay, and I would have shared this with the students. So now notice that they see what I sent them. And I just want to show you how real time this is. Okay, let me go back to OneNote on my screen. And I'm going to change something about the problem. Remember how, wait, I've got to share this with you. There we go. That's what I failed to do in the last video. Okay, now you can see what the student sees here. Okay, so the way I got into that was I opened up the OneNote app on whatever the student's device was, right? And so now they see what I created, the homework assignment. I've shared that with them using their school email. So let me show you my view now, and let me make sure that you can see everything I'm trying to show you. Good. Okay, so now let me change something about this so you can see that it is actually updating in real time. So instead of asking them to find f of 3, I'll ask them to find f of 4. And you see it changed down here. Okay, watch it change in real time. Now I'll ask them to find f of 6. So it changed in real time down here what I'm asking them to find. So the original assignment said find f of 3. Okay, now remember this is not connected to anything, so this is all happening live. Okay, let me just do one more quick video check so I don't go down a rabbit hole where you're not able to see what I'm looking at. And okay, perfect. So now let me show you what the interaction would look like. Now the student is going to do this homework assignment, okay? Let me resize this a little bit. And now what I'm going to do is click this little squiggly button, and here you have to imagine that my finger is a high quality stylus, okay, that it's interacting in a high quality way. So what we want the student to do, let me show this problem and so you can see both the problem and the solution. Okay, so what we want the student to do is substitute in a 3 where that x is. So we'll have, the student should write f of 3. Now, if you're watching my screen, it should update here in a moment with what the student is writing. See there, it showed up. F of 3, close parentheses, equals 5 times 3 plus 3. Okay, now this is what I want the student to do. Now the student's going to continue working on this assignment. Okay, let's resize a little bit so we can fit more on the screen. So the student is continuing to work now. And let's have them make a mistake, okay? So let's assume that they think that open parentheses 3 close parentheses means add, all right? So they think 5 plus 3. This is a mistake, and they're going to write 8 plus 3. Okay, and then they say, well, that equals 8 plus 3 is 11. So they think the answer is 11. That's what they turn in. All right, now let me go back to my screen, and I'm going to keep this phone shown so you can see what I'm going to do. Let me see if I need to resize this a little bit. Let me resize this a little bit so you can see more of my screen. Okay, so now on my screen, I've now received their homework back, and I see that there's a problem. So here's what I'm going to do as a teacher. First, I want to see what they did. Now, the way that I'm going to do that is by going to View and clicking on the Replay button. And it's asking me to drag the area I want to replay. Well, I want to replay their work. So I'm going to drag over their work. Now watch what happens. On my screen, it replays what they wrote in the sequence that they wrote it. Now watch what I can do as a teacher. So this was impossible in any other scenario unless you're literally sitting there watching the student write. So I see them write the 5. Good. Okay, good. They substituted the 3. Then they completed the expression. Now they put equals. Good. Oop. There's the problem. And so I can I can play the problem back, and I don't have to look at the whole problem to find I can actually see where they made a mistake in the problem. So you see, oop, I see that's the problem right there. Now watch how I can interact with this. I'm going to show a couple of methods of interactivity. It's going to be important at this point that you watch the student's screen down here in the bottom right of your screen so you can see what I'm going to do next. So first, I'm going to show that I can write things back to the student. So I can go in here with my blue pen and I can say, oh good, this is correct. Now watch the student screen down here. You see it appeared immediately. And I can say, ooh, this is not right. Okay, this is an area of concern. Okay, and so over in the corner here, I'm going to show a little mini lesson. I'll say, look, A, and again, you have to imagine it's a stylus because I'm using my mouse to write this. A, open parentheses, B, close parentheses, does not equal A plus B. Okay, so I'm trying to teach the student now. And you could imagine that they could be working on this at home, and I could be offering them tutorial support live while they're at home, remotely. And I can say here, no. It doesn't equal A plus B, A open parentheses B, in fact, equals A times B. Okay? So now I'm going to leave that for the student and I'm going to say, redo. Okay, redo. Redo. Okay, now the student sees all that. As you can see over here, they can see what I've written. All right. And I want to show one other feature before we get back to the student input so that you can see, let me just again check my video, good, so that you can see what I can add to this as well. I can also insert an audio recording. So this would be really helpful if students just have a hard time understanding written math. Okay, so when I start clicking record, I'll just be a teacher. The proper method when you're substituting a number for the value x here is to understand that A open parentheses B close parentheses does not equal A plus B. And that's what you did here. It's evidence to me that you did that here. Okay. If I replay your work, we can see where you made your mistake. Okay, so let's replay your work. So far, so good, correct? That's correct. Now let's see what happens next. Right here is the mistake for you. Okay, so here I'm concerned because what we should have done is 5 times 3, and you did 5 plus 3 is 8. So this is not correct. All right, so let me exit this replay here. What I want to see is I want you to understand that A times B, or A open parentheses B close parentheses, does not equal A plus B. A open parentheses B close parentheses equals A times B. So this is what I want you to be working on. I want you to focus on this rule right here, okay? Just pay attention to this rule right here and then try to redo the problem. So once you understand this, try to redo the problem, okay? But good job. I think you're doing really good work. Just give the problem another try. Okay, so now we've saved this. Now, if you notice down on the screen, this is available to the student to click on. It's loading for the student. Just give it a moment. Okay, now it's loaded for the student. Now look down here. The student now has a button that they can click. All right, so let me zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole screen. Let me click this button and play it. Okay, why aren't we playing? Let's play. There. Oops. It's hard to click that little play button on this little. There. I keep clicking out of this box. Let me zoom in on it there. I want to click that play button. There. The proper method when you're substituting a number for the value x here is to understand that a open parentheses b close parentheses does not equal a plus b. And that's what you did here. It's evidence to me that you did that here. Okay. If I replay your work, we can see where you made your mistake. Now on the device, on this device, it's not going to show a replay of, it's not going to show my screen, but I could capture my screen recording. I could record my screen as I was recording this audio and include that for the students. So in other words, they can listen to the recording, and there should be a way, I don't know why I can't click it. There should be a way to, there. The only problem here is this box is going to pop up and it's blocking my view of what's happening in the background. But you can see the potential there. If the student was actually using a proper device, like running a full version of OneNote, it wouldn't be such a limited range of interactivity. They would see exactly what I see on my screen with all these different features. So that is that's the record feature. Now let's, as a student, let's go in and try to, we've learned, okay, good, we've learned. And so now I'm going to try to solve the problem again. Okay, so now I'm going to try again, f of 3. And if you look on my screen as a teacher, I'm watching them do this in real time. F of 3 equals 5 times 3 plus 3. Okay, and then I see them do their order of operations correctly, and they do correctly 15 plus 3. All right, and they say, okay, well, 15 plus 3 is 18. So f of 3 equals 18. All right, and this is what they turn in. They think that's correct. So now I, as a teacher, go back in here, and it looks great. Okay, so this is correct, and I'm going to mark this up as a teacher. Again, it's all happening in real time. Love it. Love this. Great. You got 100. Okay, this is 100. What great work. You're a great student. Okay. All right, they got 100. So this is just, some of the features that you can do with OneNote. So now I'll show you another feature. As a teacher, sometimes it would be helpful to just dictate some notes into the lesson. So let me just start dictating some notes. Solving equations is a process that involves substituting a value for the variable and solving the equation by following your order of operations, period. Okay, so that was almost perfect. It just caught that is it a process, and it's still recording what I'm saying. Okay, so now I want to just correct this. And I should have said solving functions here, so I'll just edit that. Oops, I wrote equations again. Is a process. Okay, so now watch this. I can have this read to the student. What's the conflict? Okay, there. Sorry, there was a conflict with the page. Okay, so now if we scroll down, the student can see that I've written something in there. Now watch what I can do for the student here. Okay. Not only can the student see this, but the student can also dictate a response. Okay, the student can record their own audio and say something like, hey, I don't understand the process. Can you show me it again? I really just don't have time to worry about this because I have to go play my video game. Right, so now I, as a teacher, can listen to their audio once it gets synced. Okay, so now I'm waiting for their audio to sync, and now I can play their audio. Let me go and turn on my microphone so you can hear it. Okay, here we go. A response. Okay, the student can record their own audio and say something like, hey, I don't understand the process. Can you show me it again? I really just don't have time to worry about this because I have to go play my video game. Okay, so you can hear that the student was able to interact with me by leaving an audio, kind of like a message, like a voicemail. Now here's something else that can be done. This is really cool. I can go here and I can play this text as an audio. Let me go here and click audio, and then let's see if I can play this text. There's a button that says Immersive Audio. Immersive Reader. Okay, now listen to this. So this is what I'm playing now. Watch this. Okay, I want to play this. Ready?
Solving functions is a process that involves substituting a value for the variable and solving the equation. Audio recording started 10:34 a.m. Sunday, December 29.
Okay, so that's good for students that have dyslexia or have some other learning disability where they want to hear what's written. Okay, even if I didn't record in my own voice what was written, they can play in the full version of OneNote, they can play that audio recording. Now let me show you something else that's really cool. I've copied this now, and what I'm going to do is translate this into Spanish because we have ESL students who have trouble, right, understanding the English language. And so I even have a student who doesn't speak any English at all. And so now I've translated this into Spanish for them. If you look down here, I have translated this into Spanish. Let me blow this up. Okay, there. Now, I want to play this in my immersive audio reader. Watch this. So imagine a Spanish language student coming across this problem and doesn't understand. Now I go down here, watch this.
Resolver functions, es un preciso, que implica, sustituir un valor por la variable y resolver la equation.
No, I have to set the language here. Hang on a second. That's not right. Okay, I've got to set the language. Here, hang on a second, because that sounded horrible. Let me set the language for the immersive reader. This is supposed to be translating and reading in Spanish. Okay. Hang on a second. I had it working before where it read it in a nice, here, selection to Spanish. There. Now, why won't it play it? Before it played it in a perfect voice, a perfect Spanish voice.
Resolver.
No. Why isn't it working the way it was working before? Let me try this. Do I need to do something? Reading preferences, let me see. Oh, okay, translate user language into Spanish. Okay. Okay, let me go down here and let's see if it'll play it in the Spanish dialect.
Resolver funciones es un proceso que implica sustituir un valor por la variable y resolver la ecuación. IRAP-tridu F. 3. 5x3 y 3v a 15 y 32x378.
Okay, there. And even they can...
Grabación de audio iniciada. 10:26 am domingo.
Okay, let's see it play the function.
F de x igual a 5x más 3. Encontrar. Negrita cursiva F de negrita 3. Grabación de audio iniciada.
Okay, so there's a demonstration of how, and I was very clunky about how I did that because I'm not very familiar with the software yet, but you can see the potential there of how the student would handle that. Now I just want to show one final thing before we end. Watch this. So this software has a real cool feature called text to math. So here's what I'm going to do. I, as a teacher, I'm going to show this so the student can see this too. I, as a teacher, I'm going to write an equation here. X plus 3 equals 5. Okay, pretty simple. And so what I'm going to do now is turn this into a math equation. When I click this math button, it will turn it into a math equation for me, but that's not where it stops. Okay, so there's the equation. But watch this. Over on my screen, I can click select an action and then solve for X. Now, I don't know if you can see this very well, but it's solve for X, and it can even show the steps. Subtract 3 from both sides, subtract 3 from 5 to get 2, X equals 2. Okay, so it solved it. I can even click generate a practice quiz. And you would hope something would happen, right? You would hope that it would generate a practice quiz. And now it's not working. Okay, well, it doesn't want to work right now. There. So these are the things that it can do. I can also insert a video. Let me go grab a video link really quick. This is one of the videos I recorded for my YouTube channel. This video only takes YouTube video links. Okay, so if I click online video and click play a video, it's going to insert this video right here. Okay, now watch on the student screen. Let me show you what they can do. So look, it popped up on their screen. Let me just make sure you can see that. Oh, you can see that. Okay, good. Now it's going to play. When I play the video, it'll play on their device at home. All right, and that's going to give us the determinant D. To get the determinant X, I would multiply 5 times 3. Okay, so that's an example of like embedding video in the document. The amazing thing is all of this is happening in real time, you know, that what the student does is what the teacher can be seen by the teacher at the same time. They can write thanks. Up here you can see it's going to appear on my screen once it syncs up. Remember earlier it was happening in real time. We must be having a slow internet connection right now. There it goes. So there was a delay, but earlier you saw that it was actually happening in real time. Okay, so you know, I hope this video gave you some idea. If we had a real fast internet connection and full-size devices, both running full versions of OneNote, you can just imagine the interactivity that's available between teacher and student that just wasn't available before. I was trying to find something here to leave for the student. Okay, here's what they get for their work. They get a star. Okay, so now, now I will end the video. I don't know why that didn't work. I think it's because I'm looking at it at the same time. Now I'll end the video, and there's a few kinks I still need to work out, and I don't know everything about this software yet, but it's a good demonstration of kind of like the use case for how we would want to implement this in a classroom.